Have you ever felt trapped in a relationship that's hard to describe? You tried to explain it to your friends, but all you can say is, it's complicated. Well, if that's the case, please run away, right away. You are dealing with the deadliest narcissist without you realizing it. See, manipulation in relationships can be so subtle that you might not realize what's happening for a very long time. Manipulators and narcissists are puppet masters. And if you don't realize that you are under their strings, you could become their puppet. They will keep playing you like a dog. You are nothing to them, and they will break every bit of your soul. Narcissists are experts at playing this kind of game. They are working in the shadows, making tiny moves that you barely notice. But if those little actions add up, controlling you without even seeing it will look like a piece of cake for them. And that is the art of highly skilled narcissists, soul destroyer manipulators, and the devil among humans. They use their charm and intelligence to break you into pieces and nibble you to death. That's why it's really important to know if you are in a relationship with this kind of person, so you can save yourself from the destruction. In this video, I'm going to lay down the 10 signs that you're in a manipulative relationship. Then, after you analyze your situation, we are going to proceed to the 10 covert emotional manipulation tactics only true narcissists don't want you to know. And these are just the facts, not fiction or anything. All that you are going to hear in this video is true and has existed for thousands of years since the existence of humankind. How to identify if you are in a manipulated relationship. If you're feeling like something's off but you can't quite put your finger on it, you might be experiencing manipulation. You know deep down something's wrong, but figuring out what it is feels impossible. You might even suspect you're being manipulated, but the idea seems so far-fetched that you doubt yourself. But how do you know for sure? Here are some of the signs that you're being manipulated. Please, let all this sink in, write them down, and truly think about your situation so you can get the best out of this heart and soul saving video. Sign number 1. The relationship started like a fairy tale, but now, instead of feeling happy, you're scared of losing what you have. Your emotions have flipped from joy to anxiety and sadness. Sign number 2. Your mood is like a yo-yo, completely dependent on how things are going with your partner. One day you're on top of the world, the next, you're in the depths of despair. Sign number 3. Most of the time, you feel unhappy and unsure about the relationship. Yet, the thought of losing it terrifies you because occasionally it makes you incredibly happy. Sign number 4. You can't shake the feeling that you're messing up the best thing in your life, but you don't know what you're doing wrong. Sign number 5. You find yourself constantly thinking about the relationship, trying to analyze and understand every little thing, but it never helps. Sign number 6. You never feel secure about where you stand with your partner. This constant doubt keeps you anxious and on edge. Sign number 7. You feel like you have to defend yourself all the time. Misunderstandings seem to be a daily occurrence. Sign number 8. Trust issues, jealousy, and overreactions have become part of your life, and your partner doesn't let you forget it. Sign number 9. You catch yourself checking their online activity, social media, texts, and even trying to track their whereabouts. You're always looking for proof to calm your fears. Sign number 10. No matter how hard you try, nothing seems to work for long. You used to make them happy, but now you're left hanging in the air, wondering what changed. So, you must have your answer by now. If you need to pause this video to think, do it, and find the answer. Be completely honest with yourself. Now that you are aware of your situation, the next step is knowing what the manipulator or narcissist is exactly doing when manipulating you. And you don't want to miss it. Keep watching. Covert tactic number 10. Intermittent reinforcement. Out of all the manipulation tactics, intermittent reinforcement is one of the most powerful, to the point that psychology experts have named it an extremely effective motivator that exists in this world. Using intermittent reinforcement, the manipulator showers his or her victim with praises, affection, attention, appreciation, declarations of love, and adoration randomly. Why do they do this? Well, to control you, by choosing when to give affection and then to withdraw it. For example, if you do something they like, they will increase the affection, attention, love, or whatever positive thing that makes you feel happy and complete. But they will withdraw it if you do something they don't want, to keep you in a constant state of wanting, uncertainty, and anxiety. This tactic is dangerously effective because it taps into a basic human need, the need for positive reinforcement. When we receive love or appreciation, our brain lights up. releasing dopamine and other feel-good chemicals. It's extremely addictive, and when that reinforcement is intermittent, it becomes even more like a drug. We become like gamblers at a slot machine, pulling the lever over and over, hoping for that next hit of affection. If you find yourself in this situation, you might notice that the person who once showered you with love and attention suddenly seems distant. You feel something is wrong, but they deny it. Then, at some point, they will suddenly come back full of love and affection, and for a moment, everything feels right again. You are on top of the world again. Then again, they back out. The cycle repeats itself, leaving you anxious and desperate for their approval. This game of emotional push and pull is not about love. It's about power. The manipulator uses intermittent reinforcement to increase their control over you, to make you ever more desperate for their love and approval. Covert tactic number 9, negative reinforcement. Negative reinforcement is a manipulation tactic where someone stops doing something you dislike, but only when you start doing something they want. It's a twisted reward system, but instead of giving something good, they take away something bad. Let's break it down with an example. Say you love spending Friday nights with your friends. It's your way to unwind and feel free. But there's someone who doesn't like this, the manipulator in your life. They want you all to themselves, and they'll do anything to get what they want. So they start acting cold, giving you the silent treatment, or withholding affection whenever you make plans with your friends. Suddenly, your joy turns into guilt and anxiety. The only way to get back the warmth and love you're missing is to cancel your plans and do what the manipulator wants. And just like that, they stop the cold treatment. It seems like you've won their affection back, but at what cost? You've just been manipulated through negative reinforcement. This tactic is chillingly effective because it preys on our natural tendency to avoid pain and discomfort. The manipulator creates a problem only they can solve. They will trap you in a cycle where you're constantly trying to please them to avoid hurtful moments. Covert tactic number 8, backing into an emotional corner. Imagine you're holding a mirror, but instead of reflecting your face, it twists your emotions into something unrecognizable. This is what happens when someone manipulates you by making you feel like you're losing your grip, calling you unstable, crazy, or saying you have anger issues. The real trick is that they provoke these emotional outbursts themselves, then blame you for the chaos. Here's how the game is played. You spot something wrong, something that bothers you deep down. So, you gather your courage and confront the manipulator. But instead of addressing the problem, they flip the script and shine the spotlight on you, accusing you of being too emotional, too jealous, too something. While they're dodging the real issue, the frustration is building inside you. They push your buttons that escalate your emotions until you're the one looking crazy. And just when you're at your breaking point, they deliver their final act. They declare you're the problem, threatening to leave because of your drama. This is a carefully laid trap to make you doubt your own feelings and reactions. It's a way to divert your attention from their actions and gain the upper hand. And the grand finale? You're left feeling guilty, questioning your own sanity, promising yourself to keep your emotions in check next time. But suppressing your feelings only makes it easier for them to be manipulated again. That's why the manipulator knows that the buttons will be much easier to push next time. Covert tactic number 7, shifting the focus. You approach the manipulator with a problem. Maybe you think they're cheating. But instead of addressing your concern, they act shocked that you would even suggest such a thing. Then they turn the conversation to your flaws, your insecurity, your jealousy. And now you're no longer discussing their actions, but defending yourself to his or her accusation. And let's say you found evidence of their deceit. You confront them, armed with the truth. But then they accuse you of evading their privacy and not trusting them. It's a dizzying flip, and somehow it works. The manipulator has turned the table so skillfully that you're left questioning your own actions instead of theirs. In this strange world that the manipulator created, the normal rules of logic and fairness seem to vanish. Even when your suspicions are found true, you find yourself apologizing for being suspicious. You learn to keep your doubts to yourself, fearing that any confrontation will only end with you being blamed. Covert tactic number 6, instant disclosure. Imagine you've just met someone who seems to understand you like no one else does. From the very start, they share their deepest thoughts, their dreams, and even their failures with you. And what do? Naturally, you start opening up too, sharing your own secrets, believing you found a rare connection. This act of sharing personal stories and feelings, my friend, is an extremely powerful way to build a bridge of trust between two souls. When someone tells you their secrets, it feels like they're taking a risk for you. making you feel special like a chosen one. Especially when they mirror your thoughts and experiences, it's as if you're looking into a heart that beats in sync with yours. But manipulators use this natural process of bonding as a tool. They open up not because they want to be vulnerable with you, but because they want something from you. By revealing their personal stories, including their achievements and acts of kindness, they're performing and laying the groundwork to make you feel a deep connection in an instant, softening you for a full-force punch. This tactic is insanely effective because it taps into our basic needs to be understood and accepted. The manipulator's early and intense self-disclosure is designed to fast-track the trust-building process. It's a calculated move. The manipulator is expecting you to lower your defenses and share your own vulnerabilities and then attack. Covert tactic number 5, triangulation effect. Well, with the name itself, it's pretty obvious. But here's how it goes. You have a friend or someone you're dating who starts talking a lot about another person. It could be someone they used to date, a coworker, or just someone they keep running into. They talk about this person so much, or even flirt with them right in front of you. And when you get upset or ask them about it, they tell you you're just being insecure or jealous. But they're doing it on purpose to keep you guessing and to make you work harder for their attention. And here's the thing. It is normal for the manipulator that the person they are using to make a triangle effect is their next target. It's hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. For example, the manipulator might flirt with another man or woman in front of you so they can build their relationship with her or with him, while causing you to behave jealously. And that jealousy can be used as the main reason why they will end the relationship. Yeah, it's evil, but welcome to reality. Covert tactic number 4, blaming the victim and playing the victim. When things go wrong, the manipulator will point their finger at the other person saying, "You're the problem. You're the reason everything's messed up." Even if the manipulator's the one causing the trouble, they make it seem like it's all the other person's fault. This trick is devilishly effective because it makes the person being blamed feel confused and guilty, like maybe they did do something wrong. The manipulator is so good at this game that they can even make their friends and family think the same way. They will pretend that they are the victim and leave you when you need them the most. Covert tactic number 3, indirect insults. Instead of saying something mean directly, a manipulator might say something that sounds like a compliment or advice, but it actually makes you feel bad. For example, they might say, "It's great how you don't care about being fashionable," which sounds like they admire your carefree attitude, but actually suggests they think your style is lacking. Or they could offer helpful advice, like telling you to take dance lessons because it would make you less boring to dance with. It sounds like they want to help you improve, but really, they're saying you're not a fun dance partner right now. This kind of comment can sneak up on you and hurt your confidence because it comes from someone you think cares about you. Covert tactic number 2, insinuating compliments. Someone says something to you that sounds like a compliment at first, but then, when you think about it, you feel weird or even upset. They might say something like, "You're so good at arguing. You should be a lawyer." Sounds like a compliment, right? But it also kind of feels like they're saying you argue too much. If you get confused or upset, the manipulator will quickly say, "Oh, you misunderstood me. I meant it in a good way." This leaves you wondering if you're just overthinking things or if it was really an underhand insult. Here's another example. After having an intimate night, he tells you, "You could make a lot of money as a prostitute." He says it with a smile like it's a big compliment. But that's a pretty shocking thing to say, right? You start wondering all sorts of things. Why would they even think that? What do they really think about you? It will stick and grow in your mind. See, this kind of compliment is a manipulator's dream. They get to say something hurtful, but make it look like you're the one who got it wrong. It's a way for them to mess with your feelings and make you doubt yourself, all while pretending to be nice. Covert tactic number 1, using the emotion of guilt. Guilt is a sign of having a healthy emotional state. It dictates us to care about other people's feelings. But of course, manipulators know how to use this good quality to take advantage. They can make us feel guilty for pretty much anything, even when we have no reason to feel that way. A manipulator might say something like, "After all I've done for you, you can't do this one thing for me?" Suddenly, you're feeling guilty, as if you owe them something. But this guilt doesn't come from doing something wrong. It comes from someone making you feel like you've done something wrong. Manipulators are masters at using the emotion of guilt to take down anyone in their path. They will use our own kindness and sense of responsibility to twist our arms. Some of these guilt-driving lines are, "I can't believe you think I would lie to you," makes you feel bad for doubting them. How can you feel that way after all I've done for you? Suggests you're ungrateful. Don't worry, I'll just manage somehow if you won't help me. If you really loved me, you would do it. These are just the first 10 of the 30 manipulation tactics all narcissists are doing inside their relationship. And if you want to learn more about the other 20 tactics, which is essential to fully equip yourself against a manipulative partner, parent, friend, or colleague, just leave a comment down below.